Wanna talk? So let's talk. Here. Talk. You wanna talk? You gotta talk, you need to talk. News talk.
I talk, you talk to Solomon. I talk, you talk to Solomon. Yeah, let's talk to Solomon. Talk to Solomon.
You gotta talk.
It's Talk to Solomon time. Thanks for joining us. I'm Stan Solomon, my co-host.
Chief Steve.
And my friend Brent Johnson is co-hosting. And my friend Floyd Brown has joined us, long separated, but very active with the, what's it, the Western Center for Journalism, if I got it right?
You got it right, Stan.
Okay, that's once in a row. Floyd, how are you?
I'm doing great, Stan. Great to be back with you. And yes, I won't tell anybody how many years I've been appearing with you on talk radio and now with your excellent television show, but it's great to be back with you.
Well, you've done a lot of good for this country, and you've been the little burr under the saddle of liberalism for as long as I can remember. And there's so much going. It's almost like, where do we start? But let's start with journalism. There was a major story that broke. It was on Drudge. And tell us about it.
Well, this is the story that really was broken by Breitbart.com, that from the 1990s until as late as 2007, the literary agent of Barack Obama was claiming that Barack Obama was born in Kenya. Now, this is a very significant breakthrough because, first of all, any of us that have written books, and I've written 5 books and have worked with literary agents and publicity agents, we all know that we personally approve the bios that are on the websites describing our book and describing our accomplishments. And so it really stretches the imagination to think that Barack Obama did not at some point approve or know about this this bio that says he was, quote, born in Kenya, raised in Indonesia, and of course, we all know, then lived in Hawaii.
Now, some people don't quite understand what a literary agent does, and some believe there's a conspiracy. I guess it goes all the way back to 1991, according to them, where this relatively unknown young man, who was the head of the Harvard Law Review, was going to write a book, hadn't even written a book yet, and it wasn't just him. There were, whatever, 50 or 60 or 70 or 80 other authors or author wannabes in this particular publication. Is that right?
That's right, but it was also posted online. And, you know, Stan, this is not an isolated incident. If you go online, in fact, we posted a video today at westernjournalism.com that people should watch, because it shows that there are literally dozens and dozens of articles online that talk about Barack Obama being born in Kenya. And, you know, something like that just doesn't happen by accident. And you know, clearly, you know, the literary agent relationship is a very special relationship. It's akin to the relationship that a pro sports player has with his agent, or a Hollywood actor has with their agent. It's a relationship where that person is going out and promoting you. In this case, a literary agent is promoting Barack Obama to different publishers and trying to get a book sold. So the truth is here, it's a close relationship with the primary person, and in this case, it would be Barack Obama. So that's why, I mean, I know that I've approved every bio that's ever been posted online by my agent or by any publisher or publicity group that I've ever dealt with.
Let me go here to Brent. Brent, your thoughts. I'm sure you saw this story that came from Breitbart that the White House says, well, it was a mistake, and they changed it in 2007 when, by the way, he was running for president. I can't hear you, Brent. Just a second. Can we hear Brent?
He's muted.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, there we go. Go ahead.
This is old. This is old news, and this is very important. It's old news because there's nothing surprising here. There is ample evidence, proof, even to the extent of Kenyan ministers who have acknowledged that the place of Obama's birth is a national monument, that everyone in Kenya knows about it. His grandmother was a witness to his birth. The airline on which his mother supposedly flew to Hawaii with her while she was pregnant actually refused passage to her because they were afraid she would give birth on the flight. So there is a lot of evidence. I mean, his father is a British citizen, all of this. He's not a natural born citizen. This is just more proof of it. The next step, and this is what's important, is we need to be willing to refuse to allow this man to be president because he's ineligible. Not sit here just debating, well, they say it's not true and the courts won't listen to the cases because they throw them out on technicalities and they say the American people have no standing. Again, we need to bring back that American revolutionary spirit. You're not eligible. You're not president. Get out of the White House. If you don't get out, we'll force you out. Because in the end, he's not going to admit it. He's not, I mean, everyone should know that. Find me one person who actually witnessed him being at Columbia University who's willing to come forward. What about his Fulbright scholarship out of Occidental U, which is only given to foreign citizens? I mean, the list goes on. This man is a criminal. He is not eligible to be president, which means he is occupying the White House illegally. The question, what are we, the American people, going to do about it?
Floyd?
Well, the appropriate group to do something about it are these quislings that call themselves the Republican majority in Congress. I mean, here we had a big Tea Party revolution 2 years ago and elected all these Republicans to Congress, and they can't even hold Eric Holder, who's running guns to Mexican cartels, in contempt of Congress. Walter Jones from North Carolina has been brave enough to introduce legislation to impeach Barack Obama, but it's going nowhere because it's being killed by John Boehner, the Republican Speaker of the House. So the Congress is really the responsible party here. They should be investigating. They should be looking into this.
But they won't.
And they should be setting it right.
Well said, Brett. Now,
But
Chief?
they won't.
Yeah. Chief, go ahead and comment.
Well, I'll just repeat something I said in the last segment, is that many Republican leaders claim that they'd rather lose their election than be looked upon as being mean or unfavorable in any type of a light. So for them to go out and actually say that the president is illegal and they're going to do something to remove him from office, most of them would rather lose their office than make that kind of statement and be accused of being mean by anyone. So we're going to have to get more people in Congress that are willing to stand up for the American people rather than what we have now. The battle has started, but we must look at it like a battle and get more generals on the battlefield.
I agree with that. Now, Floyd, let me ask you, I believe, and I'm not exactly a mild-mannered guy. I am not a shy person. I believe if the House would impeach Obama based on the fact that he is not an American, a natural-born American, based on the fact that he has submitted, as Sheriff Arpaio has already shown, a totally bogus birth certificate, which in itself is a crime, that we would have a civil war in this country. Am I right or wrong?
Well, I mean, I would hope we would not have a civil war, but it's obvious that the authorities are preparing for a civil war. I mean, they're buying bullets, they're laying in stores of food, they're building these camps all over the country. So somebody's getting ready for some problems. I'm hopeful that we can handle it outside of any kind of violence. One of the great blessings that the founders gave us is they gave us a system of government that we still fundamentally control if we'll only grab the reins and take control. That's why what I've been doing is I've been encouraging everybody that's in the Tea Party, run for office, become part of the process, and and hopefully that we can do at the ballot box and won't have to resort to bullets and other means.
Well, and again, we all pray for that. There's no winner in a war. There's no winner in a fight. There's only some lose more than others. And although I certainly empathize and back Brent's position that you have to draw a line, you have to stand up, you have to be willing, because if they know you're not willing, they're never going to change, and they'll just keep taking and stealing and raping and robbing. Brent?
Exactly. That's exactly it. That they're everyone is so unwilling to take up arms against the government. The truth of the matter is that the Republicans aren't going to fix this in Congress, because you're right. They can. They won't. It's not that they can't. It's that they won't. And if our representatives will not fix this, then it falls to us, the American people. It would be nice if we lived in a world where violence was completely unnecessary. But if there wasn't violence, we would be British subjects. Well, it was a violent revolution. And Frederick Douglass in the 1850s once said that power concedes nothing without a demand. He said that the limits of tyrants are prescribed by the endurance of those whom they oppress. How much are we willing to take? That's exactly how much will be brought against us. We also have word from high up, from a globalist insider, that Obama himself is planning, if he thinks he's going to lose the election, to foment a civil war, to initiate an insurgency. So just sitting by and saying, well, we're not gonna do anything violent because it's just not right. Okay, philosophically, I think that's great. But if you just stand by and say, we're not going to start a war, that doesn't mean he won't. We have to be willing, even if we don't want it, we have to be willing to take a look at the legitimate use of violence, not to make war, but to establish peace. Wasn't it Reagan? I know Teddy Roosevelt did, but I think Reagan also said, hey, we want to trust, but we want to verify. It's the same principle. The American people, we're the rulers.
I know
Go ahead,
Stan. I know for each of us, there is a line. For me, I haven't crossed that line yet. That I think that a new revolution is necessary. I've gotten close. Every time I'm molested at TSA, I feel so violated, and I feel that the police state tactics are so extreme and so unnecessary to climb on an airplane that frankly I'm traveling much less than I used to travel, and as a result of have had thoughts of getting close to the line, but I'm not there yet. Yes, are taxes high? Yes. Are we oppressed? Yes. But I don't have like the British were quartering troops in people's homes. They're not doing things like that. And if I felt like the government officials were coming through the neighborhood and raping the girls like the British soldiers were, then I think that's a little bit more violence than we have now. And I think that we still can resolve this at the ballot box. And I think there's a very good chance that Barack Obama will leave office peacefully. If he refuses to leave office after losing an election, well, then that's a totally different situation.
I agree with you, and of course, Brent does too. None of us wants a war. That's wrong. None of us wants to overthrow the government. That's silliness. But what we need to all be able to do is to say, we will defend the Constitution. We will do what all of us are sworn to do, include the president. But let me back up. Hold on 1 second, Brent. I want to make this point, and then we'll go. I believe the war has started. I believe that, and we have a video here, but we don't have time to show it, where a soldier on working out of a fort, was on his way home. I believe it was in Florida. His car broke down. He was a block away from his new apartment. He was walking there. He was a white guy. He was attacked by 4 black guys and beaten half to death. I don't think this is an isolated incident. It's being hushed up wherever possible. But I believe that Barack Obama and the left has recruited a domestic force, has trained them, some of them. Others they've simply brainwashed or incented through this Trayvon Martin, who's dead because he attacked somebody. It's a tragedy, but he instigated it. And I believe that the war has started. A person standing by the side of the road was shot dead. We are seeing it all over this country. I think it's only a matter of time before it affects every single one of us. The war has started, in my opinion. Now, Brett.
Yes, I agree with you, Stan. I also think, with all due respect, Floyd, I think that you're never going to see the soldiers coming in and raping women and children like you did in the 18th century. But what you do see is police and SWAT teams barging into homes, private homes without warrants, over student loans that are unpaid, and then murdering Marines, murdering children, and getting away with it. You see this happening every single day. The other thing is that the word we have is not that Obama will start something if he loses, that Obama will start something if he thinks he's going to lose, and use the something, whatever it is, to justify military incursions. The problem we have is both in the military and in the police. We have a mentality that is, I'm only following orders. It's the exact same mentality that existed in Nazi Germany. It is exactly why Hitler was able to do what he did. And if the military themselves don't stop following illegal orders, if the police don't stop following illegal orders, then we are headed exactly into the same place, except they'll be more covert. They won't be as obvious as the British soldiers were.
All right, let's get the chief to comment on this.
May indeed not have your line crossed, and that's a danger for us.
Now you all know why I'm living out here in Maricopa County,
Arizona. You got Sheriff Joe there.
I'm Chief Law Enforcement Officer.
That's true. All right, Chief, your thoughts here.
Well, there's been 2 times in American history when armed revolutionaries took on the government. One was the Revolutionary War. Second was the Civil War. Both those cases, there were trained military leaders that took charge of those events. Generals that were trained, military people that were trained. Right now, what you're talking about is citizens doing this. If citizens take on their own actions now without some type of cohesion and leadership and military leadership, they will be charged with crimes of terrorism and then held indefinitely by our own army for indefinite periods of time. So if you want to know what happens to a person that tries to take on the government, just look at George Zimmerman. At that moment in time, you must use all of your own personal resources against all of that of the government, which is very, very impossible to overcome. So I don't believe we're at the point yet where we really need to go into an armed resistance against our own government. But what I would suggest we do is what we've talked about more in this program is getting more people in charge of the government, of the military, getting better people in charge of our city police departments. The sheriffs, on the other hand, though, are elected by the people and do have a tremendous amount of power that could be used against the government to protect us from our own government. But we don't need a military coup or armed citizens going out and attacking the government right now. But if we ever came to that point, it would have to be an organized military force that did this, just like George Washington and or the leaders of the South, even though I don't approve of their cause, but they did organize themselves militarily to take on that revolution. But at the moment, what we need to do is focus on speaking out as often as we can and organizing people to go out and rally against these improprieties, and also to get people elected into government that will appoint the right chiefs of police, that will appoint the right generals in office, and also lead them in the right way that's designed so that we will have a safe environment and we can still protect our Constitution.
All right, well, we don't have it resolved, but we certainly have it stirred up, and of course, Floyd's been known to do that a time or two in his career. Talk to us more, Floyd, about the Western Center for Journalism and what you're trying to accomplish.
Well, Stan, the Western Center for Journalism continues to grow dramatically. We're now getting over 1 million visitors to our website every month, And what we do is we try to provide news that just isn't covered by the mainstream media. I mean, we've been covering closely the entire George Zimmerman case, where there was incredible media malfeasance there. We've been covering, as you know, for a number of years now, the Obama birth certificate or Obama origin story. And anytime you find a story where the media isn't telling you the truth, we're usually trying to ferret out what that truth is.
Well, we appreciate that and admire that, and we need to support that, folks. Now, how might people support the Western Center for Journalism?
Well, they can come and visit our website. Our newsletter is absolutely free. They can sign up at westernjournalism.com, and we just keep growing. We have we have over 50,000 daily subscribers now, and it just keeps getting bigger every month.
All right, we have a caller. Let's take a quick call here. Caller, you're on with Floyd Brown. What is your question?
Yes, I was wondering, why do we have a House of Representatives that appears to be so afraid of this imposter-in-chief?
All right.
I've written my representative numerous times, and, well, it goes nowhere.
All right, let's get a response. Thank you for the question. Floyd?
Yeah, I think it goes right to John Boehner. John Boehner has told his members, this has been told to me by members of Congress themselves, that the lesson of the Clinton impeachment was you just can't, as a House of Representatives, take on the president. And so he has done everything he can to try and be accommodating to Barack Obama. The clearest example of this is when they increased the debt ceiling. They could have right-sized the federal government by just refusing to increase the amount of debt that he was borrowing. They had to affirmatively increase the debt ceiling, and they did that. They gave him all of these trillions and trillions of dollars of new debt to spend, and it was all because John Boehner doesn't want to have conflict. He doesn't want to, fight with Barack Obama, and that's probably why he spends a lot of time playing golf with him. But it's an embarrassment, and one of the first people that needs to change in Washington, D.C., in my opinion, is John Boehner.
Couldn't agree with you more. We're out of time. Thank you, Floyd Brown. Look forward to having you back very soon. We'll be back with Dr. Alan Keyes. Stay with us. Do you like being healthy? I do. In fact, this product, which I've been taking for years now, is absolutely the answer. Now, you may not believe it, but I'm actually 21, plus tax, of course. This product has 146 different healthful nutrients in it, and it's liquid, so it's bioavailable. It tastes great, and it's sugar-free. 1 ounce of Sonic Life each day will help you to maintain and enhance your health. It's the kind of a gift, well, that you'll thank your mom for, your husband for, your wife for, your kids for. Whoever you give it to, they're going to say thank you. And you are going to enjoy the benefits of having all the vitamins, all the minerals, all the nutrients your body needs in one very reasonably priced product. Just go to cpnlive.com and everything's right there. You'll be able to read all the ingredients. The price is right there, a flat price delivered to your door anywhere in the United States of America. Sonic Life is a gift, a great gift. Give it to yourself. I do. You have a computer, if you're alive today, which means you have a hard drive, which means it's going to break down. Mozy, the backup people, for thousands, for Stan, for thousands of people, for tens of thousands of people, is simply common sense. You go to cpnlive.com, click on the icon for Mozy, the backup people, and sign up. It's just a few dollars a month. Let me tell you something. We had a break-in. They stole our whole computer. You know what? When they take the computer, you can't recover anything, but we had Mozy. We had the backup. We were able to restore everything simply by buying another computer. cpnlive.com, click on the icon for Mozy, the backup people, and give yourself common sense, peace of mind, great value, the best thing you've ever done. Sooner or later, it's going to be. Mosey, the backup people. I am holding in my hand a product. It's called TR10 Supercolloidal Silver. It's a natural antibiotic that works. You know, the reason we use silver to make cutlery, silverware, is because nothing grows on silver. It's the reason they put it in your teeth. It's the reason they use silver instruments to operate on the brain. TR10 is very inexpensive. Just go to cpnlive.com, click on the icon for the TR10, and order a quart. It's so inexpensive, it's really silly. But it's invaluable when you have a sore throat, when you have a cold, when you have something you're concerned about in yourself, your child, whether you have to spray it in your eyes or swallow it or put it on your skin, makes no difference. It's totally safe. It has less silver than is the safe level in drinking water, yet it's done in such a way that it does the job. A natural antibiotic, yours, TR10, Supercolloidal Silver, from cpnlive.com. Just click on the icon. Do you like to eat? I do. We all run to the store if we're hungry, right? Well, there are times when that doesn't work. And for those times, and it may be for an hour, and it may be for a day, and it may be for a week, who knows, God's in charge, you need to have quality food. Alpine Air, that's what this is, quality food. It has extended shelf life, and it tastes great. You should store what you eat and eat what you store. Just go to cpnlive.com, click on the icon for the Alpine Air foods. It's incredibly reasonable. It's actually a way to save money. Alpine Air has quality food that's going to be there when you need it. It's always better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Alpine Air at cpnlive.com. Click on the icon and protect your family.